once again, and today I'm going to show you how I made these cute fluffy guinea pigs, and I'm sure you've been waiting for it, and I'm sorry it has taken so long because adding fur takes a lot of time, and I am an illustrator as well, so I had multiple projects going on, so I'm sorry for the delay, and let's get started. I'm using the carded wool and getting an oblong shape for the body of the guinea pig, and you can make it a small one or life size, it depends on your own choice. The first one I made was a bit smaller, and I think that looks a bit more cuter. Sorry about that, that's my cat. And this needs to be really firm because when you're implanting the fur, the body has to be really firm underneath, so it takes a lot of time and patience. Here I'm shaping the face, and I'm using my needle just to determine where the mouth is going to be, the nose and the eyes, and then I'm going to build upon the body from the back, so just getting the face right now. This is the picture of the guinea pig, and you can always use pictures for reference. And this is the front pose, so I'm using two different pictures of guinea pigs just to get them as close to real as possible. I wanted to make a cuter one, so here is where the eyes are going to be, and you can add wool at the back just to get the shape and the size right. So once I've made the face, I can just keep adding wool to get the right size. I'm just using my owl tool to see where the eyes are going to be, and I'm going to use 3mm plastic eyes, and I'm going to glue them before I move further. I had to use my scissor to make holes because I had felted it quite firmly. With the eyes in place, now I can move on further. So I'm going to give it some cheeks and just a bit of wool, and I felted it down a bit. Then I'm going to attach it to the sides of the mouth so it becomes more cheeky. I'm going to do the same on the other side of the face. I really enjoyed making this guinea pig, and they really look cute, but it takes a lot of time. So you see, with the reference, I think the head needs a bit more wool, so I'm adding that, and I'm using carded Corriedale. It's easier to add little bits of wool to get the right shape. So just added more and see it makes a difference. You can see a forehead. Just using little strands of pink and just hand guarding them. Little teeny mini strands of light pink, and I'm going to shape the nose with my needle. Because it's really small, I can't make a nose and paste it on, so I'm just going to do it with the needle, and I'm making holes for the nostrils and shaping it as I go along. You can see it's taking shape, and it's just amazing how the needle works on wool, and I really love this craft. Adding a little more pink on the top because as you can see in the picture it has a little bit more pink that you can see below the fur. So you can see that I'm shaping the nostrils and the really slight line in the middle. I've tried to make it a close-up for you guys, but I don't know if it's working. And giving it a little mouth as well. Now I'm going to show you how I made really teeny tiny fingers or toes using a toothpick. And I've seen many videos of teeny tiny hands and they've used wires, and I didn't want to use wire. I'm going to try it someday, but I wanted to try this out. It's a bit tricky because it's really small, and using a toothpick gives it a shape. And you can just rub it in between your palms or your fingers, and you get really tiny fingers. So I'm going to make 4 for each limb for the 4 paws and the back paws. Yes, you can see I just rolled a really thin strand of wool on the toothpick and slid it off, and I'm felting it down. So I'm going to make 4 for each hand. I'm doing it again to show you a close-up. It's really tiny, so you have to be careful. You don't poke yourself. And rub it between your fingers to get a smoother finish. It's a bit tricky when you start off, but once you start rolling it tightly, then you'll get the right shape. Once you've got the 4 together, the strands that are left hanging, you can just wrap them around to form the palm and felt it down. I think it has 4 toes, so just making 4, and with the needle I'm just bending them by felting them in the middle, so you see they're a bit bent. This is how I'm going to do all 4 of them. Just put them together and roll the extra wool around and felt it down. So here I'm going to show you how I did the legs. I took some carded wool and wrapped around the toes that had attached to the body. So you don't have to make the legs separately, you can just attach the pink part and then wrap around the white part, because they have really teeny tiny legs. And I've used a little bit of carded wool with the merino top for the ears. And they have rounded ears and they've got some lines like folds in the ears. So I'm going to try and make that. I'm shaping the ear right now. I'm sorry, I've still got a bad throat. Once you've shaped one ear, it's easier to do the other one. The same size, you can just put it on top of the wool. And I'm using my hair straightener to get a really crisp finish, and they become thinner as well. So they become really fine and the edges are really nice. So you can use hair straightener or hair iron to do the ears. As you can see in the picture, they've got some folds, so I'm using my needle to make those folds when I attached it to the body. And even if they're looking big, you can just fold them a bit and felt them down. Now I'm going to start attaching the fur, and just taken some brown wool and have cut it, not too short, not too long, just a bit off the camera, but don't worry, I've got it on camera, like to the entire body. So just felt it down in the middle, fold it over, felt down again from both sides. Then you can cut off the extra bit. And don't cut in a straight line to get a natural look. You have to cut vertically. Attaching fur is not that difficult, but it takes a lot of time. And I'm taking really small strands at a time and getting them close together in lines. This is how you do it. I've got it on camera at last. Just take a bit at a time. And that's my cat again. Felt it down the middle firmly, fold it over, and just to secure it, I'm felting from the other side as well. So I'm just going to see where I want the brown, and I'm going to add another line of black as well. So I'm just drawn that on the body and I'm going to attach more fur. You see how I'm cutting it, and it's easier if you do the cutting as you go along, because otherwise it becomes a big giant mess. I still have to learn how to do the really short fur, because all the videos they show how the fur is attached, but when you do it, it doesn't give that natural look. So I still have to learn how to do the really short fur, or maybe you have to use a hair trimmer for that. I don't know, I'm going to try that, because even when I try to do the short fur, I end up making a furry animal instead. So that's something I still have to learn. And when you do something practically, that's when you learn the most. So as you can see, I'm cutting it and I'm shaping it as I go along, and I'm using the eyebrow brush, and it's really good. It takes out the extra fur. Just giving it shape. So as you can see, it's a slow process and you just have to keep doing it. It took me quite a while because I was doing other projects as well, but still took quite a while. Now started adding the black color. Now I finally moved on to the head, and the head you have to see where the direction of the fur is going. So in this case, the whole body and the head, they have the same direction of the fur, so it doesn't really matter. Giving the white patch to the head. Trimming and shaping goes along. I'm going to give black color to one side of the face and brown to the other. Here I'm attaching the black color. Here, as you go close to the eyes, it has to go around. Make sure the eye shows. So here the direction of the fur changes, so it goes down from the eye along the shape of the face. Same way around the nose. It has to go upwards with the shape of the face. So around the nose and the eyes is a bit tricky, where you have to change the direction of the fur and just have to keep in mind the shape of the face and plant the fur accordingly to any animal you're doing. It applies on all the animals. I'm trimming around the face, the head. I'm going to see where it needs more fur. For the eyes, I've taken a little teeny tiny strand of black and I'm going to go around the eye with it and give it a bit of shape. Bit elongated. So I'm trimming it down to the mouth and the nose become more prominent and the fur is a bit shorter, so you get a more prominent feature of the face and the eyes show. Now I'm just felting it down, the fur around the eyes, just a little bit, just to make the shape of the face more prominent. I've just felted down the fur around the eyes. Here it's more dense, so I'm making it a bit more thinner. And the chin needs a bit of fur or the white color, so I've just added a bit and I've felted it down. When you make your guinea pig, you'll see where the fur is needed and you can just cover it up. So here it is done, both of my, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.